Hello and welcome back. It is Monday, the 10th of March, and I'm off work. So I have 1 week of annual leave, in which obviously I would love to achieve an absolute load, but I'm going to be fairly realistic about this. Is that I'm not going to achieve much. I know I'm not going to achieve much because I've got to devote 1 day to cleaning because it's horrendous in here. And it's one of them where it's just like every surface is cluttered. So it's just if I don't just put a day aside to cleaning, it's not going to happen. I've also got appointments that I've made for this week, which is just going to slice the days up. And then I'm going to go and see my family. So I know that although I would love to do absolutely loads this week, it's not going to happen. And the stuff which I wanted to do last week hasn't happened because all of this is sat there. And my sales are disastrous on eBay. And what can you do? So I did do a run on Saturday because I did work on Saturday. So I dropped some stuff off the post, and there was 4 things which I dropped off on Saturday, and I've only got 4 things here that are paid for. So, yeah. So I am going to put all of that on. I'm going to send it live this week. But then I think because I'm going to go and see my parents at the end of the week, after I've got said like appointments and things, and the car is being used for other things, and then I'm away with work next week for training. So I honestly think that I'm going to put my shop into holiday mode Thursday onwards, because I think it's realistic. It's realistic for me to just put it on holiday mode for Thursday onwards, and then it's going to stay on holiday mode until, it's going to be on holiday mode for a week and a half. So me throwing myself into it this week is all very well and good, but it won't actually do anything, because unless I sell it at the beginning part of this week, it's completely pointless. Yeah, so it is a long month. So then I've got another month of March after I come back, and then 2 days tacked on because it's 31 days. So yeah, I could achieve loads this week, but not really achieve anything. I don't know. I suppose I just send it all live. I don't schedule it for when I come back. I just send it live. It might sell at the beginning of this week, and then if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not going to put a sale thing on my store. I'm not going to do anything because I have to go into holiday mode because I won't be here because I'm staying away for training. So things that have sold. This has gone for 99p. So this is an example of things that you shouldn't buy. So when I was looking at this dress, I couldn't work out what the hell was going on with it. I imagine that the person who's bought it won't be able to work out what the hell's going on with it because it's got straps here. It is like a strap. It is a strapless dress, but has this for, I don't know. It's a God only knows. Marge, 99p, just because don't even know what's going on. It's got like a popper here. At the time when I bought it, I thought that it looked, it was Marge, so I bought it. But I don't even know, and I just really hope that the person who's bid on it has actually bothered to read it. It's got some quite serious boning in it as well. So there you go. Just want rid of stupid things, and I think that's my problem is I do pick up stupid things, and then other things, they have no logic. Like these. This has no logic. So these, I have 2 pairs of Lululemon shorts here that have sold. This one's got a flaw in it, which has already sold once, and then they didn't read that it had a flaw in it, as in this repaired hole here. It looks like it's got a bloody bleach mark on it there. And then I've got these ones, which are the same, both without the floor. Well, no, because they're pace breaker. These are licensed to train because it's got LTT on it. Both of these have got the label cut out of them. So I've worked out what they are. They do have the dot, but I haven't photographed the dot because I couldn't be asked to look for it. Because it's never where you think it is. It'll be in the back pocket, won't it? I mean, it's just a pain in the arse trying to find these dots. Yeah, so it's there. But I knew what these were because I had a whole bundle of them and they're all very similar. And the only one that I've got left out of that bundle of shorts, which was five bundles of shorts, 4 of which had no tags in, and the one which hasn't sold is the one that's got the tag in it. Is there any reasoning behind it? So maybe it's because I let that one go for 20. I've let that one go for 10 because it's got that mark on it. So maybe that's why, just because they were cheaper than the other one, which is at 30. I don't know. Why am I tired? I did wake up at 7:30, even though I'm off work. Right, so this is a good deal. A good deal because it's deal coding. So this has gone for £32. No, I think it was probably £32.99 because it's like they sent me. No, I think I sent an offer. So, well, whether I sent it or they sent it, an offer was accepted. And it was like the £33 region. I had it up for like 38. Yeah, so this has a lot of like branding on it, but it's, you know, like a fisherman's smock, artist's smock, whatever you want to call it. Let's go sailing smock. The logo looks like that. It's taken about a month or so for that to sell. First time I found it. Yeah, I'm fairly pleased with that. It just, rosin seems to take so long to sell these days. I mean, obviously, yeah, I think the reselling heyday is over. Let's just all come to terms with it. Reselling heyday is over. I wish that I realised the reselling heyday was coming over, was ending this year, last year, and then I would have used all my money on debt and things then. But anyway, it is what it is. I've gone into this year thinking that I would use the spare cash now that I've gone into like a full-time wage, to pay for the debts which I've racked up since COVID, which really need dealing with because, as people keep posting on social media, that was 5 years ago. Something this morning posted that horrific picture. That horrific like CCTV footage of Matt Hancock grappling with Gina, whatever her name's arse. Yeah. You know, every time I see something like it, it does incense me because I'm one of those people who could not spend time with my brother when he really needed it because of illness. Anyway, we won't be talking about that. But yeah, apparently those two, although they caused all that kerfuffle, their relationship went absolutely bleeding nowhere. And they both cheated on each other again with other people. You know, who knew a relationship that started out of cheating would have ended up with them cheating? Who knew? Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure what truth there is behind that because, yeah, who believes anything that's on the internet? I think I'm just reading comments from other people. Right, how am I folding this with this boning on this dress? Right, anyway, I am going to go and post these, and then I have to list. I have to sit and list. I have wasted the morning. I haven't wasted the morning. I have relaxed this morning. I have re-dyed my hair and just laid in the bath.
which subsequently meant that because I had hair dye on them, I now have a bathtub to clean because I laid in the bath with hair dye. So, and now, I do have to do that. I've done a bit of washing up, and I have done some laundry and stain removal. So that has been my morning, and I just need to start working through that. And then I have an appointment tomorrow, which is fairly early. I say fairly early. It's like, realistically, it's 10 o'clock, because it's like 9:45, which gives them, an hour and a half at the doctor's to just about get a full-on delay in all of the appointments for the rest of the day secured. So I don't expect that to go well, and I also don't expect to be feeling very well after I come back from that, because it is the female version of the MOT, and I don't do very well with it, and I usually every 3 years I know that I'm going to bleed for the rest of that day, which is not to put anybody else off going and having their smear test done. Go and have the smear test done, because it's probably better to know whether you've got cancer or not. And I don't like it. It's uncomfortable. It's annoying. You're always talking about complete mundane stuff while you've got your growler out for an investigation. But it's worth doing it, and it's uncomfortable at the time. I find it uncomfortable for the rest of the day, and a lot of the time I'll take the day off if I go and do it, because I have been known to just be in a lot of pain and go to sleep for the rest of the day. It's always been something that I've experienced, and I have been lucky enough that the goalposts have moved with my age. I think I had my first one when I was 21, and then they moved the eligibility to when you were 25, but I was past 25, so I've literally had one every 3 or 4 years, or wherever it was. I think at one point it was every 4 years, and then now it's gone to 3 years. I don't know, but anyway, I've had them consistently throughout my 20s and 30s, and now my 40s. So I've become accustomed to the fact that it's a day that I have to have off work. So hence why I've made the appointment this week. Yeah, so I don't expect to get anything done tomorrow. And then I've got other things that I've got to faff around with this week. So I'm going to get through that. I should probably do photos today, but I really can't be asked. And I do need to do a big clean up. I have a massive pile of stuff which I have been doing stain removal over the past week. I haven't really been sourcing. I think I've got 2 or 3 items there, which have been sourced, and then I've still got this to photograph. So I am very much not ahead of the game. I've got Lego to do, but I'm not setting myself any major targets this week, because I can't see me achieving too many of them. And then, like I say, I am kind of thinking I'm going to put myself into holiday mode on my eBay on Thursday onwards for a week and a half. So I don't think there's any point in me getting massively ahead with that, but I would like to get as much of that listed and live today. Right, so let's go to the post office. Hello. Right. It's Wednesday. No, well, it's not Wednesday. What is it? It's Friday. So Tuesday I had my appointment. It was okay. I wish it'd been like that. I mean, I wish that my previous appointments over the last 25 years had been like that one, because that one was okay. And I didn't have to pass out for the rest of the day, or just, rest for the rest of the day. So cleaned the flat, although you can't tell. But there was a lot of hoovering. However, this carpet looks terrible. I haven't been here. I've been at my parents', so it looks like my husband has been dancing on the carpet by the looks of it. I don't know. Not great. It doesn't look great. So I think I'm going to have to run the hoover over again before I can do any photography. So literally this week, where I hoped to do like lots of catch up with eBay, has not happened. This is quite telling of eBay, isn't it? Because it's just one of those things, unless you're constantly on it and you're constantly uploading and you're constantly tweaking and you're constantly posting, it just wants nothing to do with you. Mine has sort of gone slowly downhill since I put it on 2-day dispatch, because I've always been on 1-day dispatch. And the moment I put it on 2-day dispatch, it's the only insight that they've got to offer me is that I should put it on 1-day dispatch. Well, if I put it on 1-day dispatch, then I'm going to end up not being able to dispatch because I have this thing called a job. eBay just doesn't want you to have any life outside eBay if you want to be successful with it. And that's the problem with it. And it's kind of annoying. Anyway, I've got a whole load of, my boot is absolutely filled with stuff because I've been at my parents'. It's not from them. The neighbour, he has cleared out all of him. Well, not all of, obviously. When somebody dies, you pick what's important to you. And he has done that because his wife has died. I actually knew her myself, so it is pretty sad. And it is cancer, so all of these knickknacks and things that he couldn't get rid of because he didn't have a car, they're in my boot, so I'm going to take them this morning, because it's like I came back from my parents yesterday. It's now 9:30, so I'm going to go before it whacks up busy. So I'm going to go and put them at the shop and drop off this. This is it. I've been away for 2 days and I've only got 2 sales. It's absolutely diabolical. And I didn't go, because I've got that 2-day dispatch, I didn't put it on holiday mode because it's not necessary. Because neither of these are late. They just need to be dispatched today. So All Saints dress, it's got like a side silk thing, and I think I photographed it quite well, but obviously not enough. I mean, there's nothing much to that, is there? It's just a dress, and I've already printed the labels off of this, but it might have actually been a large letter effort. I want to try and put it in a large letter poly bag because I don't have enough of the other ones because I haven't ordered it. I hate ordering anything online now. This is maybe other people have this problem because the postal services all just like throw it in hedges and don't deliver it properly. Maybe that's another reason why people have slowed down shopping on the internet, because you can't guarantee that anybody is going to deliver it where you actually want them to deliver it. So there's probably an element of that, because unless somebody's got click and collect on something, I don't tend to buy it. I'll be right there. And I did this at Christmas because I went on that Hawkstone Clarkson Farm thing, and I wanted to get something for Jason for Christmas, but they were only using Yodel, and pretty much all of the reviews where people had said they'd had problems with Yodel had been poo-pooed as it was their problem. So I was just like, well, I'm not even going to get into this. So I abandoned my basket, and they had me they were offering all sorts of discounts on it, but I was like, well, you can offer all the discounts you want in the world, but I won't get it if it's being delivered by Yodel, because for so long I thought that my intercom was broken because they never ring it, and I've tested it multiple times, and when the gas engineer came round, he used the intercom and it was fine. So there's nothing wrong with the intercom. It's just they literally are just throwing it in gardens or in the bin or whatever, throwing it over the fence and not delivering it. So my biggest bugbear is when I get a return, it's not so much the return, it's the fact that it has to be delivered, and then I generally don't know where it is. Right, these, I've had a lot of interest in these, and these are folk. People kept sending me a message saying, is this the assembly pant? And I'm like, I have no idea if it's the assembly pant. You know, if you think it's the assembly pant, why don't you buy it? You know, I take pictures where you can see that it's elasticated. You can see that it's got one pocket on the back. You can see the depth of the pockets. I mean, honestly, I've shown everything, and I had like 5 watches on it, and I sent offers out. Then somebody sent me an offer of £20, so I accepted that. In the space of that time that they sent that offer, I had other messages from other people, and you know, they didn't exactly like pay quickly, which was a frustration, but it ended up going to this person who paid £20, and I think I probably could have got more, like the 30 region, but I mean it's done now, isn't it? So there we go. Somebody in London is buying these. I don't know. Right, so yeah, that's my, that's 2 days worth of sales. It's just absolute pants. I really don't know what to do about this. Well, I do know what to do about this. It's just unless I like significantly change what I do, and I'm like start becoming part of the 5 a.m. club before I have to go to work, there's no chance of me getting on top of this. So yeah, I honestly I thought I'd get so much more done this week, but honestly I had to go and see my parents. I can't like not go and see my parents. Why is there a big mark on the floor then when I mopped and hoovered literally on Tuesday, because I had all this energy when I came back. I mean, I did bring some of this stuff. I brought it up here to have a look, and this is the sum total of everything which I decided to keep. So I'm tempted to keep these. There was lots and lots of Fox stuff, but these are Basil Brush. So they're only like felt figures. They're not like the the actual puppets, but they're so cool. I mean, I'm tempted to keep them, but then also I have so much stuff piled up here, and I think this is why so much of it. I mean, yeah, it's you feel guilty when somebody dies. However, it's also overwhelming because it doesn't mean anything to you and necessarily. And then there'll be like 10% of it which means something to you, which you keep, and then you've got all this other stuff, and you're like, I can't accommodate all of this. So I know why there's so much being cleaned out, and then there's a lot of stuff. A lot of people just don't deal with it and just then add it to their stuff, and it just becomes a major problem. I think I might put this on eBay. Fortune telling teacup. I think this is like a £20 sale. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is lots of figurines in there because it's all border arts and Leonardo collection, and there's decorative plates, like big tiger, but that was quite grazed. Just lots and lots of figurines like that, and I was sort of like looking at them. And I was like, well, yeah, I could get more for these if I put them on eBay. And then I just thought, I am going to take them to our shop because it's the better thing to do. Yeah, I could like wait ages to try and sell it and then probably it break in the post. But I'm going to give that a whirl because, it's got the leaflet with it, and it's got that So I'll probably put that on eBay and see if I can get more. Because I know what will happen if we put that in our shop, in that'll go missing from it. It won't get, because I know how uncouth people are in the shop. And then other things that I've kept, and these are quite a surprise. So these are Fellwell. It does have it on the bottom. It's easier if I just show you the bottom, really. So these little figurines, these seem to do quite well, and they've all got their detail on the bottom telling you what they are. So I think I'm going to list these ones on eBay. I'll probably just stick them on auction, because one of them, there's an auction of, admittedly it's probably about 15 of them, and that's gone up to £80. So I thought I'll try them and I'll put them on. But obviously not at the minute because I'm going away. So there we are. And then I have another plastic box as well for storage. Yeah, and that's it. And I'm going to jump in the car because I don't want to be in the shop necessarily on my day off, because I'm going to end up getting, I'm going to end up nattering to people that I work with, and it's going to just take the day away. And I think I want to go and see if I can get Coca-Cola trays for £8 still at what do you call it, Food Warehouse, because we haven't been to Food Warehouse because they've obviously had a bit of a battle between them and Tesco, and we just started buying them from Tesco, and we haven't been to Food Warehouse in donkeys because Tesco took their trays of 24 cans of Coke down to £7. So I mean, that's just ridiculous. And this is the one that's got the sugar tax on it as well. This is the full sugar version, hence why I'm so big. And she said, I feel a bit slimmer technically because I've been at my parents and they don't have like piles and piles of Coke. So it's probably not a wise idea. It's probably a wise idea that I stay away from sugar. And they don't also have like lots and lots of snacks. So yeah, I have been able to abstain, and now I'm going to like go and buy a load of Coke and start putting weight. Well, no, I mean the weight doesn't drop off in 2 days of no sugar, does it? But I don't know. Right, anyway, yeah, I'm going to go because I don't want to be faffing around late, so I'll be back and tell you what is going to happen today. Right, back from my jaunt. This is 11:45. Well, literally, I pulled up at past, so I don't know where the last 15 minutes has gone because I can't even see that I've done that much. So I've been to Home Bargains. How much have I spent at Home Bargains? £17.40. So things that you need when you're away from home. Tissues, because who wants grotty tissues? Day cream, I've probably got some of that, but it's always a mystery how much is actually in the tube until you need it. Toothpaste, roll on. Well, these are all things that I've got, but I'm like convinced that I need to take new ones with me because they're going to be empty. Face scrub, I have got like I did have like a face wash because obviously I've just been at my parents', but it's one of them where unless you're in, it's like a proper like scrub, so you'll just end up with kind of like a Tide mark of rubble, but that will probably be the same. I've got a smaller shampoo and conditioner because I always tend to buy giant ones, and a shower gel. Yes, so I don't think I've forgotten anything. I feel like I need to start packing today for Monday so that I know what I need. Anyway, instead of doing that, I went to Bernardo's. So obviously I've been to Cancer Research, I've been to my workplace, I've dropped all that stuff. Like I say, the person whose donation it was has died of cancer, so I wasn't going to go and take it to Bernardo's, and I am going to take it where I work because it's all. I'm focused on figures. I did go to thingy. I've obviously got cereal. That's £3.75 now. I don't know where they come up with these prices. But anyway, so the Coca-Cola, trays of 24 Coca-Cola are 2 for £26. So I was like, oh, and that's what they had in the doorway to like get people in. So I nearly walked out because you have to go through like a gate, and then walk the entire route around the shop to get out. And it's one of those places where you can't really get out unless you're buying something. So I then saw the Pepsi and I couldn't really see the price on it. So I committed myself to walking around the shop. Got in there, £7.50. £7.50 for all of that. So, I mean, I think it's gone up to, I mean, if it was £11, I think my husband would have come home with it last, because he went and did the shopping last week because I was still working. Yeah, I think Tesco's £13 because they dropped theirs to £7, which was trumping this, so I didn't go to this. But £7.50 is alright. And I've only got one because I know that my husband will drink this with whiskey, you know, and I'll probably drink some, and I'm not spending ridiculous amount of money on things. You don't need to spend ridiculous amounts of money on things. Yeah, so those are like the normal things. And then I did go to Bernardo's. Right, this now looks black in here. In the shop it looked navy. And I'm sure it's navy. This is one of my big problems in life, trying to tell the difference between black and navy, a dark navy in particular. This, I believe, is navy. This is black. It's navy. The camera tells me more than my naked eye. My naked eye, I mean, yeah, it is navy. So anyway, I bought this, £3.50 for that. And sea salt. I don't know how well this will go because cord skirts. I mean, it was bloody freezing yesterday, and when I stepped out of my parents', it was hailing. So it wasn't great, and they're in Nottingham. Right, yeah. So sea salt. This is a size 18, a cord skirt. It's looking a bit fluffy, but I'll get that listed. My quest is to now get a load of stuff photographed and listed. I still have a pile of stuff there. I mean, I've got most of it on, but I still have a pile of stuff. The other thing that I bought was this. I mean, I think this is why it's despairing at the minute, because you sort of like look at stuff in the shop and you just feel despair, because you look at stuff which you would have picked up like 4 or 5 years ago and sold instantly for a good price, and now number one, it's slightly more expensive because the charity shops think that it's good. But you look at it and you're like, well, there's no point in me picking out like umpteen fat face dresses, like mini dresses, completely pointless, smaller size. The only ones that I find are really selling are the maxi dresses, the shirt dresses. But then saying that, I have listed them this week and they haven't sold. But then eBay will be penalising me because I've already scheduled my time away. So it's already like blower. It already can't be asked with me, because I suppose that's it. If I've scheduled time away, anything that sells today, so I've scheduled time away from tomorrow, it's now got a dispatch date, even though I'm going to dispatch it tomorrow. If I sell something tomorrow, it thinks that I don't have to dispatch it until a week and a half. But anyway, there you go. Right, so I've got this. The other Cheska thing that I've got has not sold, but this is a size 24, so I thought, well, it's got that going for it. I mean, it is sheer, but then do people who are size 24, do they really want a sheer blouse? Let's hope so, because I bought it. I have had so the Cheska dress that I had, I think I put it up for 40, and I think that's reasonable because it's like chiffon, silk. And there's nothing wrong with it. I replaced the button on it, and you can't tell that I've replaced that button on it because it had one on the shoulder missing, and I replaced it like for like. So it's not a defect. It's a lovely dress. Somebody offered me 20 the other day, so I mean I could have sold it for 20. It's starting to feel annoying selling things for 20 because of the fees, and I've got free postage on. But anyway, that was £4. Like I say, size 24. The label, the other label's probably been cut out because obviously it's sheer. Oh no, it's here. Apparently it belonged to Rita. So Rita was obviously wanted to look good in the old people's home. Yeah, so there's nothing special about that really. There won't be even less special about it if I dip it in my coffee in a minute. Yeah, so I've got those two things. And then I've got a few things here to photograph. Some of this is new, so I may as well show you things that I've picked up in the last week. I've got a cos blouse. Don't know why I'm doing that. Is it? Well, no, yeah, so it's a polo. I hope this isn't men's. It's too boxy for it to be men's. It can't be men's. It cannot be men's, can it? It can't be. It's too stylish for it to be men's. And it's too boxy for it to be men's. But who even knows these days? I've got another cos here. This one's probably a mistake cos. So this is older label cos. Older label cos. Look, nothing's going to look any good. Let's have a listen to it. Right, yeah. Size 40. It says it's a size a US 10, which makes it size 14. Lies. It's a size 12. So this is like a shirt, but it is, you know, it's slightly layered. It's got that bit there. So it's weird enough to be of interest. See, cos is one of them. You either sell it straight away and it was a good idea to buy it, or it's not. This was a no. I've got to stain removal it. It's got paint stains. This that I've got here. Anti-stain protection. Even though that's not a thing that happens to me, that was the one that I was drawn to because of the amount of this that I have to deal with. I did have one the other day which I got out of a bag, and it had like black tarry sweat stains on it, so you know it is a problem. So I will just treat. I'm going to give that a treaty. I mean, it is great, so it's not like showing that much. It needs a session. So that's a no. On much of this, I've got a whole load of stuff here. Much of this is stain removal stuff. This has been through the wash. It did not fall to pieces. Did it actually wash it out? Yes. So that has it on. Has it not? No, it's still slightly marked, but it's not marked to a point where it looks gross. And there was stuff on the cuffs. The trouble is because it's tin cloth, you know, it naturally ages with those sort of like whitish marks. So yeah, that one's going on. You have seen that because that's sea salt. I think I showed you this, which was sea salt. I'm sure I have shown you this. No, it's not the Larissa shirt. I want it to be the Larissa shirt, but it isn't. It's Tunic Fest something or other. Adventurer tunic, won't it be? That's it. Yeah, the adventurer tunic. So I've got that. That's in a smaller size 12. So that's not great. But, you know, these are easy, like 20 quidders. What have we got that's better? There must be stuff here that's good that I can show you. John Smedley. XL, fine merino wool. It's bound to have holes in it. Every time I pick it up, I look at it for holes. I've like sat and mended holes in John Smedley and then put it down to photograph it, and holes have like appeared as I've done it. So there's something really weird about it. The moment it gets holes in it, it just gives up on you. So yeah, that looks all right. And that I should get 25 for. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Yeah. Paid for that. And then I've got a pair of nudie jeans. And these are Grim Tim nudie jeans. These are paid for nudie jeans. And yeah, so it says so it's got a label like that. So they are slightly smaller size, but it has what it is on there. And Grim Tim is the one, because I had tight terry, and that took a while. That took a while to sell. Apparently, the slim fitting jeans, skinny jeans back. Who believes that? I mean, I'm wearing skinny jeans at the moment, and I am spilling out of these. No, they're not. No, I'm just fat. No, it's not that. These are bootcut jeans. These are Marks and Spencer's bootcut jeans, and I am spilling out of them because I am fat. Whenever I say that to certain people, they're like, "You're not fat, Linda." But I'm like, well, no, I know I'm not fat in terms of other things. I just know that if I don't do something about it, I will get there. And I know that buying, chocolate cereal and Pepsi is not on the list of things to buy when you want to get smaller. But I also don't want to be miserable. Am I spilling out? Yeah, I'm spilling out. Yeah. The nurse said that I certainly hadn't put on that much weight, because I was still the same weight that I was previously, but I don't know, I just feel grumbly with it. So that's my mission. So the light is now going to a point where it's going on the floor, and it's going to annoy me because it does that between 12 and 2. So that's going to aggravate me. But I'm still going to crack on with this. I need to wash this tub out. I'm not necessarily going to photograph those things. I want to wash that tub out and put stuff in there that I'm not dealing with. I've got a lot of washing here that I've done white washes in. So I'm going to get the ironing board out to just cursory press these things before. Well, that doesn't need it, is it? Because it's supposed to be crinkly. But I just want to press a few things before I photograph them and just check that there's no issues with it. And I'm going to get all those white items onto the ironing board, see if I've got the stains out, and then just bag them up and put them somewhere for me to deal at a later stage. I need to get to a certain point, because obviously I'm not here next week. I don't need to leave piles of stuff sitting around. So I need to get rid of that and photograph that, and then I need to list it and get it off there so that there's nothing, so that it's at the very least scheduled, and will schedule. Now, there's one last thing that I got from Bernardo's, which is a Terry Pratchett. So they do 4 books for £1, and this was all I could find. So quite annoying. So I do have a big collection of these to resell. So this should have a lot of them in here. I can't think where I am. The truth. This doesn't even look like the list of Discworld books that I'm looking at here. I know that there's 41 of them. So what am I missing? I am missing Guards. So I've got pretty much all of the books in there. I mean, the weight of them, I've put them all in a box. I've got a lot of hardbacks in there. And the weight of them is ridiculous. We're talking 8 kilograms. So it's not going to be the best thing for posting. But I know, I'm on the way. I only need to order Guards. It's really weird that Guards isn't one of them. And if I had actually had a week where I'd got on top of things and I hadn't gone to see my parents, And I didn't go round their charity shops either, which I know is probably a mistake, but I'm at a point where I know I'm not on top of everything. So sauntering around charity shops is, number one, bringing more stuff here, and number two, taking time away from processing stuff which is already here. So I literally just, they had an appointment, and so I says, well, I'm going now. I mean, I could have just stayed and cleaned a room, but then I would have still been there today. So I did come back, and I did not go sourcing in any of the charity shops. As nice as it is, I need a break from siphons going through clothes, because I obviously do it as a day job now, and I'm just sick of going through rails and rails of clothes. I just need a break, so I'm having a break. Anyway, so back to this. See, this is going into a charity shop and seeing whether they've got any Terry Pratchett books would have been, I would have allowed myself to do that had I gone round the charity shops, but then I would have ended up coming back with loads of clothes. So that's why I didn't do it. And, it's probably a mistake, because I probably would have found guards, but I need to get to a point where it's not chaos in that room, and it is chaos in that room. So yeah, I'm very close to having, I've definitely only need guards to do a set of the 41. It's just I've got a few things which I can do to get the other ones, like Trucker, Digger, so the younger reader ones, and Good Omens, and a few of those ones, to make a better appealing job lot. So that will go on my pile of stuff to do for that. And all of this is going to go at a later stage, because I can't think what I'm doing until I come back from Newport. Hallelujah that it's just a direct train. I just have to get on a train and it's a direct train. Part of me was regretting driving until I was driving yesterday, and I was driving back, because I nearly went on Thursday to my parents, and just would have stayed until Saturday, but then I decided to, because it's always busy on Friday. Yesterday when I was driving back, there was at least a 10-mile tailback on the south carriageway. I saw the accident as I drove past it, and then everybody was at a standstill for a good 5 or 10 miles. So I'm so glad that I wasn't going yesterday, and I'm glad I was going in the other direction. But there you go. Once I was doing that motorway driving, and I was thinking, God, if I'd actually said that I would have driven, then I would have been on the M6 to the M5. I think it's a bit of the M4. And although it is all motorways all the way to Newport, I was just oh God, thank God I haven't put myself through this. But I will have to put myself through a lot of taxi mucking around. But there you go. It is what it is. And you've got to be in a frame of mind to become a better person and to absorb all the information next week. Right, so yeah, that's my plan for today. Only one plan: to get stuff photographed and to get stuff listed. So I just need to clear this buffet and clear that buffet. That's all I want to do, because this week has been yet another failure. And yeah, there's no excuse for it. But like I say, eBay, they want you to be there. They want you to be using eBay all of the time, just constantly there, constantly at their beck and call. And you then end up, it's at the cost of the rest of your personal life, and it's just ridiculous, because it just asks too much. So yeah, I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to put, such as it is, Depop and Vinted on holiday mode. My goal when I come back, because I know that the people who do really well on Vinted list daily. So I'm going to forget about Vinted for the time being, but when I come back, I'm going to try and list 4 things a day on Vinted and do that for a month and see what that does. Give it that fair chance that it needs, but it's not going to be that much of a fair chance because the stuff I'll be putting on it is the stuff which is dead on eBay. But I kind of want to treat it as a clearance thing, so I just want to see where I get to if I actually implement that. So you can save drafts, can't you? Yes, of course you can, because I've done that before. But I don't hold out much hope, because the stuff which I've put on Vinted, which other people do really well with, aka Jane Norman, for example, other people have like shown their screenshots of Jane Norman with, you know, nearly 100 likes and views, and I put Jane Norman thing on and it is on a 0. So the account that I have on Vinted is dead. I have 4 feedback because I've bought and I've sold, but it's dead. So we will see what we can do with that if we implement that. If that doesn't work, then it's going to be completely sacked off. And there we go. Right, so that's me. I'm going to crack on with getting on with this. And good day to you, sir. Right, it's 12:05. It's a good point in the day to start, even though I feel like I've done so much already. I made a mistake as well when I was driving, because I drove from one area to another. I always get confused at the roundabout near White City. And I got in, I was in the wrong lane, and I just thought, well, it doesn't matter because I'll just go round the roundabout. And I still got in the wrong lane going round the roundabout rather than doing the turn right across the roundabout. And then I still got in the wrong lane, and I was just like, what the hell? And then there's one of these grand things on top of, you know, the demolishing where my current workplace is. One of the other things they're talking about doing is, you know, if essentially demolishing Man United Stadium and then just building another one slightly back from it and putting loads of apartment blocks in there. So it's going to be absolute carnage up there. So I really need to work into my program of life just moving out of Manchester, because whatever they think that Manchester is, whatever made it good, is just being destroyed with every building project. So if I get lost on a roundabout this time around, imagine what it's going to be like when it's half of it's cornered off. It's going to be carnage. I foresee it. Manchester is going to be a no-go zone soon. So, you know, we have to leave the city and find a city which isn't destroying itself. Right, that's me done anyway. I'm going. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again. Well, it'll probably be 2 weeks at this rate. I don't know what I'm doing. Right. Goodbye. Thank you for watching. See you soon.